Hi, so today I want to do a little thing. I want to declutter some of my eyeshadows, and I have a ton of Colourpop palettes. It's not a secret, but I kind of, more than palettes, especially something like as big as So Jaded, or even some of the older palettes that I don't use as much, I consider them more like holding places for single shadows. So what I want to do today is take some of the shades from my Honey, Dream Street, Sweet Talk. I already depotted my Yes Please palette, and kind of organizing them and consolidating them into one place, which is this Tarte magnetic palette. I already have some of Yes Please and I Think I Love You in here like for a long time, but I want to make this like my together oh my gosh, words are hard. I want to make this my Colourpop palette and kind of make it a place where I can pull shades from week to week to create my own custom palettes, like little 6 pans or 4 pans. So yeah, first let's start by looking at these shades that are already in here and kind of decluttering them. So I have these old, these 3 shades, and then this one triangular one are from the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette, and I've been keeping them because they are pretty and they swatch fine, but I never reach into them. And maybe part of that is because this palette looks so disorganized and kind of not pleasing to the eye, so I don't like using it. But I just don't need to keep these kinds of shades, especially if I already have like the Urban Decay Naked palette. I don't need to be keeping these. So I'm gonna declutter these. Okay, next, in terms of shades that I keep for the sake of keeping them because they work well, but I never reach into them. That's all of these. This is from the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette. And these are just like really nice, like highlight shades, but I don't need to keep like these designated shades for that. I have more than enough eyeshadow to serve that purpose already. So I'm just gonna throw all of these out. I've been keeping them in here for like 2 years and there's just no point to it. I did recently watch Louise Poston do like a decluttering her singles and her organizing her eyeshadows videos and stuff. And so I guess that is kind of what really pushed me to actually take action and kind of take a look at my magnetic palette, which is kind of ugly, and all these shades that I don't use, and just pull the trigger and get rid of them. Next, I have my 3 huge JD Glow shadows. Now, I'm not getting rid of these, no way Jose, but I am gonna just move them over into a separate palette because I want this to be my Colourpop palette. So I'm putting them in this little Amazon palette. I think Louise Poston even has this one too. I'll try to find it and link it in my description box. This kind of mermaid alligator skin patterned magnetic palette. It's pretty handy and the magnet is really good. This is a little mini of it's like from the Natasha Denona bronze palette. I got it as a free gift with purchase. I'm just gonna set that to the side and maybe I'll put it in this alligator palette as well. These 2 are my first maybe eyeshadows ever. I got these back in college, so maybe around like 2013, 2014, and they are from Innisfree. I bought them from Korea, like actually from Korea. This one I used a lot for my brows. There's a huge dip in it, and maybe it'd be satisfying to hit pan on that one day, but I'm definitely throwing away this gold, and it's just like a plain gold. This is another Natasha Denona. It's a shade Morgana from the first like big, really warm toned $129 palette, and it's a duochrome orange to gold. Not a shade I use a lot, but I don't want to throw it away because it's Natasha Denona and it works really well. This is an Ipsy single from their collaboration with Tetris they did, and I kind of like, I don't have another deeper silver shimmer like that. And I will think about this Innisfree one that I use for my brows because it does have a good dip in it, and I think it'd be pretty satisfying to see pan in that soon. Okay, so now here are the Yes Please and I Think I Love You singles that are left. Some of them are floating around in palettes. Like here I have a couple from the I Think I Love You. In the So Jaded I have a couple. This one and this one I think are from the I Think I Love You. So let me just go ahead and depot some of the shadows that I want to move into here. Going Coconuts, I'm gonna leave alone. I did remove one shade for my project Pan Those Eyeshadows 2021, which y'all will be seeing soon, but I like these shades all together so far. Sailor Moon I'm also leaving alone so far to play with this color story as is, and this is a newer palette to me, so I still like holding it up and using it all together. This is just a magnetic palette, but these are my Pan Those Eyeshadows for 2021, so I think I'm putting this video out first, but the next video you'll see will have me introducing these shades to y'all. So jaded with a palette this big. I mean, it's not gonna save any space by putting it into this other palette. So again, I already told y'all I consider this like a floating palette of singles that I can remove, take in and out, make my own palettes with. So I will be leaving that alone too. And also because this palette's still pretty relevant and I still like holding it up all together. I did rearrange this though. I made a video about it. You can watch it if you want. So the palettes we're left with are Honey, Dream Street. I brought this out to put like some decluttered shades in, but this is the Yes Please and my Sweet Talk. So let's depot these 3 palettes first and then put them in here. Okay, so here's the Honey, I'll gut it out. Next, let's move on to Sweet Talk. Okay, so my Sweet Talk is gutted, and lastly I have Dream Street, which so far is not going to fit in this palette. Wow, that looks really warm so far, so much yellow, but first I'll depot these and then we'll declutter and kind of figure it out. Okay, so Dream Street is now gutted, depotted. Let me pick out some redundant shades that within here that I think I can get rid of. So first I'm gonna get rid of this terracotta from the Yes Please palette, and I'm just gonna start popping them in here, the ones I've decluttered. I also can get rid of this yellow just because the Yes Please yellows work a little bit better, and even if they work the same, I don't need all of these. I think I could maybe get rid of, probably this orange. I don't use oranges a lot, and I have oranges in my So Jaded palette, and oh my god, that was really hard to get out. I might just throw that one out because it kind of broke. Okay, so we lost a little bit of that orange, but I'll just go ahead and put it in here too. Okay, what else? I could get rid of this kind of peachy shade because it looks similar to this Dream Street one. So, and then also this cream shade, I never use these kind of creams anymore to set my lid or anything. On that same note, I can throw out this kind of pink toned creamy shade from the Sweet Talk palette. This kind of like short yellowy marigold color, I don't use a lot, and it's actually pretty similar to the Natasha Denona one that I have in here, Morgana. Oh, just kidding, it's not. This one is similar to this shade, yeah. So I can throw or declutter this orangey shade. Let's zoom y'all in a bit so you can see a little better just now doing that. Sorry. You know, I probably don't need like 2 of these terracotta-y like orangish tones. So I'll throw out the one in, I don't know, which one? Well, their tones are kind of different. Okay, I'm gonna throw out this Sweet Talk one. Again, these are looking so, do you see like a color story happening here? I just have a lot of these kinds of colors, and especially because I don't use these kind of colors every day, I think maybe I could throw one of these bronzy tones out. Man, maybe I'll remove this one from the I Think I Love You palette because I have this one from the Dream Street. Yeah, I'm gonna take out this redundant shade. Maybe I also don't need 2 like rose gold colors. So this is from the I Think I Love You, and this is my favorite rose gold from the Dream Street. So I'm going to, oh my god, my hands are wrecked. So I'm gonna declutter this I Think I Love You one, keep the Dream Street. I probably don't even need to keep this kind of gold tone either, just because I have all the golds I would really want within the Honey palette. So, ooh, another hit to the I Think I Love You palette. As you can see, I'm kind of favoring decluttering the older tones just because I'm more excited, and I think newer Colourpop works a little bit better than older Colourpop. Okay, I just washed my hands. That orange is really bothering me. And I think I really like all of the other shades that remain. I don't really use this kind of tone a lot. It's not a super metallic color and it's kind of a little bit deeper. So I might declutter this. This is from the Yes Please. I feel bad decluttering stuff from the Yes Please because this was actually a gift from my friend because she doesn't wear these tones a lot. And it just turns out that now I don't wear them a lot either. So I might, you know, I'm gonna throw this in a giveaway. Check out the detail box, the description box for details, because if you think you're gonna use these, I want someone to get use out of them who's not me. Now that there's space in here, let's move over the Dream Street palette. Okay, so it definitely all fits. Now let's do some rearranging magic. Okay, so this is turning out to be kind of difficult. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding an orderly way to put all of these. So far, like what I was thinking was putting the brightest colors on the left and then kind of each column being a little bit more dull version of that one color scheme. But I don't really know if I like how that looks. Especially it's hard to sort out all these kind of bronzy tones from each other. So let me just start off by doing what I should have done in the beginning, which is separate out the mattes from the shimmers. And then I'll organize the mattes on their own and then the shimmers on their own. I think that will help me kind of narrow my scope and see the colors a little bit easier. Plus, I never really use like a matte as a shimmer or a shimmer as a matte. I'm usually looking for a shimmer and then I'll look for a color. So that way of organizing just makes sense to me. So here are our mattes. That's a lot less to work with. It's a lot of yellow. I probably still don't even need all of these yellows. All right, I'm gonna declutter one of these two shades. They're just too similar for me. I'm gonna throw out this more like pinkish red one from the Dream Street palette. And I feel like I should get rid of one of these two yellows too. I don't use bright yellow all that much. So maybe I'll throw out this like brighter yellow, even though it works really well. How often do I wear this? Even as like a, well, maybe I should keep more of that primary yellow and throw out a little bit of a deeper yellow because they're just so close. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, I can work with that. Let's get moving. Okay, well that was way faster and way easier when I was just looking at the mattes. I also feel like I will never use this light toned yellow matte, so I'm gonna declutter this one as well. I'm decluttering a lot of the Honey, but that's just because I'm trying to pick like exactly what I will use the most, and I don't like seeing too much of one color kind of overwhelm everything else. Okay, well I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Let's just get started on these shimmer shades now. My table's gonna be so dirty, don't mind that. Close enough. This is not perfect, obviously, but my camera's gonna overheat and it's probably gonna turn off soon, so I'm happy with that for now. Of course, I'll probably mess around with it. Y'all know how I do. Okay, so I messed around with this a little bit more. This is what I kind of landed on at the end, and I did a similar thing with what was left of these palettes as I did with my So Jaded palette, where I had kind of the center have the brightest, boldest colors and then kind of dull out towards the edges, separated by mattes and shimmers, of course. So Here are my mattes. The center has some more vibrant colors, and here are all my shimmers. And looking, say, just even at the So Jaded, these random palettes, and then my singles from Colourpop, I have the whole rainbow colored like a couple times over. And even within here, there's some redundancy, but I did eliminate some like by throwing out this mustard, which is pretty much in the So Jaded palette. And I didn't have another vibrant yellow, so I was good to keep that. Maybe I could throw out this yellow, but whatever. I'm fine with how it is now. There's this palette of redundancy I eliminated, and then these like really boring shades. So this is what I landed on. Okay, back to real time. Well, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourselves. I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.